12-year-old Mike loved it when his parents started trusting him to stay home alone. Video games in the basement, no annoying older brother, just him and his snacks. Sure, the basement was big and a little creepy, but he was older now, braver. At least that's what he told himself. One snowy evening, while his parents were out, Mike was engrossed in his game. The sound of the wind howling outside was almost drowned out by the sounds of his game. Suddenly, a loud bang echoed from the basement window, making him jump. He spun around, heart racing. It sounded like someone had punched the glass. Peering through the window into the darkness, he noticed a few scattered snow particles on the glass. Maybe it was just a falling icicle, he thought, trying to calm his nerves. He tried to focus on his game, but the uneasy feeling remained. Then it happened again. Another bang, louder this time. More snow splattered on the window. Someone was out there, throwing snowballs. Mike's blood ran cold. This was no icicle. He crept upstairs to his dad's office, which overlooked the backyard. The motion sensor light was on, illuminating the snow-covered yard. Footprints led from the woods towards the house, stopping just before the back door. Mike flicked the outdoor light switch on and off, but no one was there. Taking a deep breath, he slid open the back door. A blast of icy wind and snow hit him. The backyard was empty. The gate was securely locked. The only footprints were those leading from the woods, disappearing into the darkness. Slamming the door shut, Mike double-checked the lock. He called his mom, his voice trembling as he explained what happened. His dad answered and told him to stay put, lock all the doors, and they'd be home soon. As soon as he hung up, Mike called his neighbor Gabe. Gabe, always ready to lend a hand, promised to come right over. Within minutes, Gabe was at the door, his face etched with concern. They made small talk as Gabe peered out the window, scanning the backyard and the woods beyond. "Mike, come over here for a sec," Gabe said, his voice low. "I think I saw something moving out there." They went upstairs to Gabe's office, which had a clearer view of the woods. The wind howled outside, making it hard to see. Gabe pointed towards a cluster of trees, his brow furrowed. "There, just for a second, I thought I saw something moving." Gabe decided to go outside for a closer look. Mike watched from the window, his heart pounding. The snowstorm was getting worse, making it difficult to see. Minutes ticked by, and Gabe was swallowed by the swirling snow. Mike, unable to see him anymore, called out, his voice lost in the wind. Finally, Gabe reappeared, shaking the snow from his coat. He hadn't seen anything else, but warned Mike to call the police immediately if it happened again. Relieved but still shaken, Mike thanked Gabe as he headed back home. Mike locked up tight, his mind racing. He kept replaying the events in his head. The loud bangs, the footprints, the shadowy figure Gabe thought he saw. When his parents finally arrived home, he told his dad everything. His dad checked the windows and doors one last time, finding nothing amiss. He reassured Mike, attributing it to the storm and an overactive imagination. That night, as Mike lay in bed, he couldn't shake the feeling of unease. He kept replaying the events of the evening, the strange noises, the footprints, the feeling that someone was out there watching him. Exhausted but unable to sleep, he tossed and turned, the events of the evening replaying in his mind like a broken record. He desperately wanted to believe it was just the storm, a trick of the wind and snow. But deep down, a chilling certainty took hold. Someone or something had been out there, and it wouldn't be the last time he felt that way. Erin owned a cozy 2-bedroom house near the woods of Lake Tahoe in California, a perfect getaway. Typically, it attracted couples seeking a serene retreat, though larger groups made her uneasy due to concerns about potential mess and damage. Thus, following a weekend stay by such a group, Erin decided to make the trip from her primary residence in Montreal to inspect the property. Before reaching her place, she stopped by her neighbors, a man she rarely saw. He'd ask her to grab any mail and check for a specific package. Pulling into his driveway, Erin noticed strange footprints in the fresh snow leading from the woods, past the window, and around the house. She snapped a picture to show him later. Finding no package and only junk mail, Erin texted her neighbor about the footprints. He called immediately, his voice tight with concern. He asked her to follow the tracks. They snaked through the trees and disappeared into the woods behind the house. "Just make sure they didn't break in," he said, his voice gruff. "Otherwise, I don't care." Reassured, Erin continued her drive up the hill to her own rental property. Stepping out of the car, her breath caught in her throat. Footprints dotted the fresh snow around her house too. It had snowed the day before, yet these prints looked fresh, undisturbed. A shiver ran down her spine. She quickly swapped out the lock on the front door, a precaution she took after every visit. Inside, the rental was a mess. Dirty dishes overflowed the sink, empty beer cans littered the counters, and the garbage bin bulged. Erin sighed, used to this level of disregard from some guests. As she tidied up, music blasting from her phone, a sound cut through. Footsteps outside. She froze, turning down the music. Her house was secluded, nestled deep within the woods. Who else would be here? The footsteps crunched past the window, heading towards the back. Erin's heart pounded. She checked the front door twice, ensuring it was locked. Whoever was outside knew she was there. Her car was a dead giveaway. For 20 minutes, she sat frozen in the living room, every creak of the house sending chills down her spine. Finally, she had to know. Erin cautiously ventured outside. A fresh trail of footprints circled the house, stopping abruptly at the back, near the window air conditioning unit. She scanned the woods, a cold certainty gripping her. Someone was out there watching. Back inside, she locked every lock, double-checking each one. Ordering a mountain of food, she tried to ignore the gnawing fear. As dusk settled, the unsettling sounds returned. Creaks and groans echoed from the ceiling, sounds she'd never heard before. Erin tried to rationalize, blaming the weight of the fresh snow on the roof, but the unease remained. Around 8 p.m., she settled down to watch a movie, seeking a distraction. But just as the opening credits rolled, the unmistakable sound of footsteps in the snow sliced through the silence. This time, there was no mistaking it. Someone was right outside her window. The footsteps paused, then faded into the distance. Erin sat frozen on the edge of her bed, every sense on high alert. 20 minutes scrolled by, each tick of the clock amplifying the silence. Finally, unable to bear the suspense any longer, she grabbed a baseball bat and crept outside. The footprints were back, this time starting from the air conditioning unit and leading away into the woods. A chilling realization washed over her. Someone had been on her roof, using the air conditioning unit as their way up and down. Panic welled up, choking her. She had to get help. The police arrived 20 minutes later. Erin's voice trembled as she recounted the day's events. The officer, calm and reassuring, examined the footprints. He even climbed onto the roof, confirming her suspicions. Footprints and signs of disturbance marred the snow. Before leaving, he promised to patrol the area throughout the night and urged her to call immediately if anything else happened. As the patrol car disappeared down the snow-covered road, Erin couldn't shake the feeling of vulnerability. She had never felt so alone, so utterly exposed. What would you do if you found mysterious footprints in the snow around your house? Share your thoughts below. And if you have had any scary encounters, share your experiences with us. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to FearFlex for more videos like this. Thanks for watching and see you at the next one.